South African politics has been thrust into the international spotlight once again, this time with serious diplomatic consequences. Both President Cyril Ramaphosa and EFF leader Julius Malema find themselves under immense pressure after a joint series of political actions triggered an unexpected and stern warning from the United Kingdom. The unfolding drama stems from recent decisions taken by both leaders. Though often rivals, Ramaphosa and Malema found rare common ground in supporting several Pan-African policy shifts that have been criticized for undermining international trade norms, threatening foreign investments, and straining diplomatic alliances. In particular, their joint vocal opposition to certain Western interventions in African affairs, coupled with aggressive rhetoric against the UK's role in past and current African economic affairs, has drawn sharp criticism. The two leaders also controversially endorsed legislation that would give the state sweeping powers over foreign-owned companies operating in South Africa, a move many have labelled as a direct attack on foreign interests. This policy, though cloaked in nationalist language, has sent shockwaves through the international investment community, with British officials raising concerns about the safety of UK assets and citizens operating within South Africa. On Tuesday morning, a spokesperson for the British Foreign Office issued a strongly worded statement expressing deep concern over the current direction of South African leadership. The statement accused both Ramaphosa and Malema of engaging in reckless and hostile policymaking that threatens diplomatic cooperation and investor confidence. The UK further warned that continued antagonistic behaviour could result in sanctions, travel restrictions, and even reassessment of aid and economic cooperation. According to inside sources, discussions have already begun in Westminster about freezing certain bilateral trade agreements and placing key South African figures under diplomatic review. British companies with significant interests in South Africa, particularly in mining, telecommunications, and finance, are reportedly considering pulling out or redirecting operations. Back in South Africa, the political ramifications are equally severe. President Ramaphosa is now facing criticism from within his own ANC party, with senior members reportedly blindsided by the extent of the international backlash. Some have accused him of playing with fire by aligning too closely with radical figures like Malema at the cost of South Africa's global standing. Malema, known for his fiery anti-imperialist rhetoric, has doubled down in response to the UK's warning. Speaking at an EFF rally in Johannesburg, he declared, "We will not be intimidated by colonizers in suits. Africa belongs to Africans. We will make our decisions, not London." However, analysts warn that Malema's defiance, while appealing to his base, could further isolate South Africa from critical international partnerships at a time when the economy is already under strain from slow growth, high unemployment, and energy instability. Economists are already sounding the alarm. The rand dipped sharply following the UK statement, and South Africa's stock exchange reported a noticeable pullback by foreign investors. If tensions escalate, the country could see credit downgrades, reduced foreign direct investment, and increased borrowing costs. "The timing couldn't be worse," said one economic analyst. Just as South Africa is trying to recover from years of economic stagnation, this diplomatic blunder could set it back even further. The South African public remains divided. Some citizens, weary of foreign influence and inspired by Pan-African rhetoric, support the stance of both leaders. But many others, especially in the business community and urban middle class, are deeply worried. "I understand the need for African unity and independence," said one Johannesburg business owner, "but antagonizing our allies in the UK is not the way. This will hurt ordinary South Africans the most." With the UK now signaling potential punitive action and other Western nations reportedly watching the situation closely, Ramaphosa and Malema may have overplayed their hand. Whether this was a calculated strategy or an emotional misstep remains to be seen, but what's clear is that South Africa's leadership now finds itself in a dangerous diplomatic storm. The world is watching. And the next move, whether it be an attempt at damage control or further escalation, could determine South Africa's geopolitical and economic fate for years to come.